Hi, this is Sebastian,
Hey, this is Juan.
and today we'll be breaking down privacy and the demise of cookies. Huge issue going on the digital marketing world and overall online user experience. Buckle up for the cookie apocalypse.
How do you optimize your customer's journey, drive demand, reduce churn rate, increase retention, and generate growth? Are some of the questions marketers continuously ask.
Welcome to the Customer XP Crew Weekly Podcast, where we discuss marketing strategies, tactics, ideas, experiences, invite guests and experts to help you with your marketing growth by being customer-centric. And now to this episode.
Hello, guys, and welcome to another episode of the Customer XP Crew, your weekly podcast about everything customer centric. Today, we're breaking down a very important issue at hand, none other than cookies. And no, I'm not talking about those you leave Santa to eat at Christmas. There are huge changes going on regarding privacy issues. There's been conversations around the farewell or the demise of cookies, and how will this affect advertising and marketing in general, and most importantly, online user experience. So get ready for the cookie apocalypse. We are joined today by Juan Gomez, our industry expert and director. Juan, how's everything?
Hey, Sebastian, how you doing? And always great to greet you over here. This is such a great segment. We get to really have our audience inform our community, bring them like top topics that are in the midst of everybody that they're talking about, and also just drive some intellectual and our opinion and expert advice on this. So yeah, I think you made a great introduction. I mean, cookies right now are a thing. We say that by Google, which is the Google Chrome, which is the most popular browser nowadays. It's right now going to, well, they set their deadline in order for them to remove cookies by year end. So 2023 is the year, and then 2024 we should start seeing Google just not using and being cookieless, meaning that there's a little bit of I don't know, confusion on how we're gonna be tackling this problem, because cookies are very important for marketers, for us
Yeah.
especially. So let's dig down a little bit on what are cookies.
Yeah,
So
because I think cookies in particular is a very interesting subject because I think it's something that people just just let it slip through the cracks and hit that accept button. But so, I know a lot of people who don't even know what cookies are. Like they just go with it. But I think there are certain key aspects. So I think it's a great idea to start with a small introduction of what cookies are.
yeah, so cookies, well, for seasoned marketers, this is a given, but if not, for other
Mm,
people who are watching in our audience, cookies are text files that are given to you once you visit a website. And these files, they put and store your user's device, like if you're using a Mac, a PC, what type of operating system you're using. So this all this type of information, it's embedded within that cookie file, and it allows not only that, but what preferences, what other websites you've been visiting, what type of activities you've done, if you purchased, if you haven't purchased, if you filled forms, if you put items on your shopping cart, but then you abandon the website and then you want to get back into that. So all that information, it's embedded within this cookie file. And these are pretty much what cookies are. So it's just a file when you browse that it starts putting data on based on your activity. So that is in a nutshell. What really is the impact of cookies on privacy? It's another concern, right? So, for example, we have seen a movement of user privacy in the few last years. is like with iOS, I mean, Apple coming up and shutting down also user tracking for privacy reasons. So we've seen a lot of people demanding how their personal data is being used.
Yeah.
Uh,
And
and
I would like to add that I personally believe that like the main event that sparked that controversy was the Facebook issue, because it was like a worldwide global scandal. There were press releases. It was even taken to court. So at that and up to that point, like the regular online user, like maybe didn't question about a lot of things, and now people are starting to ask very good questions.
correct. So what is the real impact in regards to cookies? So cookies collect all this information from you, like your behavior online, purchases, what type of websites you visit, and all that kind of stuff. So with all that browsing history and behavior that you have there, then this data gets used by advertisers to, well, it was first made like cookies. They were first made to actually help out, right? Because all this information that you gather is to give a better and personalized experience while you're browsing. So, for example, if you're a dog owner, you don't want to see cat litter stuff and products when you're being advertised, right? Because you don't have a cat. But if you're a dog owner, then you want to see other kind of stuff that is related and products that are related to dogs. So what I'm trying to say here is basically you need cookies. They were built, or they came into the browsing and the internet because they wanted to help personalize your experience. The thing is that people, developers, and all that kind of stuff are reaping some of those original intents, and they're using it with different schematics or strategies or intentions. Let's call it intentions. And people have also risen to question, like you said, about what's the real use behind it. So the impact on privacy is significant. Why? Because you have all this valuable information about your behavior, and it can be utilized for other purposes. So that's why there's a huge impact and a huge dent on cookies. And we have seen laws and regulators coming out and implementing new regulations so that these are kept in control.
Yeah, and especially nowadays, people, especially because now we have more access to information, people start to having concerns about their rights and their respect for privacy that people are demanding right now.
Correct. So one of the first laws that were enacted and is very popular is the General Data and Protection and Regulation. It's short for GDPR, which is very popular, and you've seen it in a lot of websites where you go, you browse, and it makes you click OK to accept which data that you're okay with Google cookie tracking, so that they can obviously obtain data from your browsing. Then there's other type of laws that have also been enacted. For example, the California Consumer Privacy Act, which obviously it's from the state of California, but it gives the users the right to know what personal information companies are collecting about them from their browsing history, or opting in and opting out from this. And then there's other types of laws that are being enacted, but those are the two more popular ones. So based on this, um, what is the role that it plays in marketing? So cookies, like I said before, cookies they came about just to personalize experience. So the role about cookies and marketing, it because it allowed advertisers to track user behavior and deliver target advertisement.
Yeah, and actually that goes back to the 90s. Like the whole online advertising business was built around tracking users to understand their real needs and desires, show them tailor-made targeted ads. Like you mentioned before, like if I have a dog, I want to see I want to see good boys. I want to see dog related stuff, all right? But even more than that, if it weren't for first party cookies, like the online user experience in general would be awful because you will have to log in every time you get to the internet, it customize your preferences. Now with YouTube that you can set dark mode, light mode, you will have to customize all of that every time you go in. So
Correct.
I think it's a good idea to educate people so on the benefits that all of this has become. I think what bothers people is not so much the what, but the how. Because if you
Mhm.
ask me personally, I love that. Like advertisers make my life easier. Like, okay, I'm looking for a couch. Show me what is the best couch on the market right now.
Correct.
Okay, yeah, I think what maybe what bugs people is the how. Maybe they feel it's very invasive as a sort of saying.
Correct. So, I mean, like I said, cookies play a huge role in marketing and obviously in the user experience. Like you said, if you want to go and browse about, I don't know, let's say you're on a vacation and you're gonna go visit a travel website, and then I don't know, you're gonna go to Europe or you're going to Asia, whatever it is, then you go into that website, you find information, then what happens with the cookie when, because you went to see this kind of stuff, is that website advertisers use this information to then start delivering ads to you about hotels in that destination, rental
Exactly.
cars, experiences that you might like. So, I mean, like I said, cookies were built with a good intention, and they're not bad. I know they're going away by end of year 2023, as Google wants to really take out third-party cookie use from their browser, Google Chrome, which is now the most popular internet browser across all devices. So I want one of the things that I want to make like a real spotlight on is the fact that they were not bad, and they're not bad, is just how they're being used. Like you said, it's the
Exactly.
how.
The
Because
process.
obviously if you're going, I don't know, I'm going to Thailand, let's say, and I obviously want to see what is there, what is available, what hotel rates, if I can get a better accommodation, a better rate. And if advertisers get that to me, then I see it as a helpful message
Exactly.
and communication. Nonetheless, we see that you, by opting out of all of this and having no cookies, it makes it really difficult to now personalize offers. So that's the downside about opting out on privacy on this type of stuff. Not, but as humans obviously progress and marketing obviously progresses and it's jumping these hurdles, new technology it's coming out. And obviously there has to be some type of tracking in order
Mhm.
to personalize experience, because yeah, Google might be opting out from third-party cookies in their browser, but that doesn't mean new technologies are coming into play where they're a little bit more concerned about user data, and they are protecting you, but at the same time they're personalizing you. I mean, they're personalizing the experience. So one of the things that it came into, it came about. There's two big players. One is Fletch by Google, which is it's going to be a cookie replacement. It looks like a viable replacement because it allows remarketing, which that's what I'm talking about, and custom audiences, which since October 2022 a lot of partners are using a lot more of this technology and are playing with it, so that when the rollout of Google Chrome's 2024 of deprecation of cookies comes into action and into play, then Pledge and Topics, which is another type of cookie replacement technology, it's going we're gonna see a lot of shift into this, and any of these solutions is just as viable or valuable on how many partners start using it. So we're gonna see a little bit of a war between these and which one wins. I mean, we'll have to keep our eyes open to see what happens here. But these are the players, and they protect a little bit more of that data privacy. Yeah, they protect your privacy, but it also allows marketers to personalize the experience and advertisers to really create campaigns that are targeting you. And most importantly, what I want to also come and say to every company, it's now more than ever important to start creating your own audience, not just leave it
Yes.
to all these other networks. You should be creating an email list again and growing it, because with all this data concern, if you can manage your own data, this is going to be huge. And if you're going to take anything away from this talk, is this, it's like you have to start building your own audience and your own customer data, and tracking your own customer, all that first party data. So start embedding technologies that allow to see behavior within your own users, so that you can really create and cater a lot more and personalize their experience.
It's also time to step up your segmentation game, which is really important too.
Yeah. So I mean, cookies are going away at least, but
Yeah.
there's gonna be a replacement. So
Yeah, but I think that what you mentioned with all of this is precisely the reason why it has been delayed a couple of times, because there has to be a transition, and obviously there are the greatest minds of the market that are coming up with solutions, but this is the best time to think about um, your strategies, and more important than that, it all comes down to the customer experience at the end. So for us marketers, more than a challenge, I think it's an opportunity, and one that we can come up victorious, because, and we always emphasize in all of our episodes how important it's to become really customer centric. Um, this is the chance, and there's nothing that people like more than the feeling of control, of being in control. And now, with all of in this topic, the feeling of control of your personal information. But what happens if in a smart way you create surveys, you actually help, what they say, offering value, you help, but you also can, with a sense of liberty, collect information of people, their preferences, like even like directly asking people, how would you like to be advertised? That would be like a cool experiment to run. And the sensation of control of people, that, okay, they are showing me this because I accepted, I participated in the process, I interacted with the brand. So that there's tons of things that can happen right now, and are the huge game changers for the coming time being.
yeah, I can see a lot of things are gonna be popping up, new technologies, new methodologies, new frameworks for advertisers. But like you said, at the end of the day, is how do we jump this hurdle? And also, how do we create a better customer experience? And that's owning first party data. Honestly, start creating your audience, start building a database again. We know we like to spend a lot of advertisers and companies obviously like to spend money on Facebook and Google and all that stuff, and that's great. But you also have to start seeing how can you own your own audience and collecting that data, building that email list, practicing all other types of marketing like SMS marketing, just really creating valuable content, as we say before, and things that they opt in, engage and build a community. If you're able to build a community, this is going to really help.
Absolutely. Yeah. Actually, there's this movement and this term that's been going on. I think it was started on HubSpot, and it's the zero party data. Like, it's the data that is voluntarily shared by users with businesses and is collected through typically interactive ways. So interactive data collection, surveys, polls, and quizzes, what I was mentioning before. And this is becoming very valuable because is more accurate, is more specific, and more important than that, is shared directly by the users. Like consent is a very important word right now that we need to adapt to.
All right. Well, so I think that's a wrap for today, and
Yes.
I'm off to eat some cookies before they're gone.
Me too. Yes. Time to tackle the Cookie Monster. So
That's right.
thank you, Juan. Thank you. Thanks a lot, and thanks to all of our audience. Remember that you can also find us, sorry, on the hottest podcast platforms. So be sure to hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for next week. This was the Customer XP Crew. Thanks again, and see you next week. Bye bye.
Bye bye.